My name is Emma Harrison. For the past 4 years, I have run my family's chain of restaurants, Harrison Prime Steakhouses, without taking a single day off. Not weekends, not holidays, not even when my body begged me to stop. We have 6 locations stretching from Chicago to Milwaukee and Indianapolis, all with my family's name on the sign. Upscale steakhouses where guests are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on a perfect ribeye steak and a properly breathing glass of Cabernet. A typical day for me starts at 5 a.m. when the Chicago sky is still pitch black and biting cold. I'm at the main warehouse before even the delivery drivers. I personally inspect every crate of meat, feeling the chill, smelling the freshness, checking the marbling. If today's Japanese Wagyu shipment isn't up to standard, I call the supplier directly and negotiate a replacement before 7 a.m. Because tonight, there's a VIP table pre-ordering A5 strip loin. After that comes the new staff training round, standing right at the grill, teaching how to sear steak so the outside is perfectly caramelized, while the inside stays exactly medium rare. I show them how to slice filet mignon without leaving saw marks, how to plate bone and ribeye so guests immediately snap photos for Instagram. By noon, I'm driving between 3 locations in one day, checking wine inventory, handling a guest complaint about yesterday's slightly salty lobster bisque, quick meetings with evening shift managers to make sure we're not short-staffed for the weekend. I usually get home around 1 or 2 a.m., just enough time to shower and sleep 3 hours before the alarm rings again. My salary? Enough to live in Chicago, but never matching the responsibility I carried. Then I graduated with my MBA from Kellogg School of Management, Northwestern University, one of the most prestigious programs in the country. I studied evenings after 18-hour shifts. My capstone thesis was on optimizing fresh food supply chains in upscale dining, and I applied it directly to Harrison Prime. I thought, this is it. I've proven my worth. I scheduled a meeting with my dad, Richard Harrison, the founder and still the one in charge. I prepared a thick dossier. Revenue growth of 68% over 4 years, food waste reduced from 17% to 4%, average Google rating of 4.8 stars, 2 new locations opened without bank loans. I presented it concisely, professionally. I'd like to discuss a salary adjustment that matches the regional operations director role I'm currently performing. My dad looked at me for a moment, smiled the way he smiles at VIP guests, and said, "Emma, your family. You're so lucky to have this opportunity. Out there, people fight for years to get where you are. We're different. You should be grateful." I froze. Not because it was a surprise. I'd heard that line since childhood, but because this time it landed right when I thought I'd finally be seen. 2 days later, my dad sent a company-wide email inviting everyone to an all-hands meeting at the flagship downtown Chicago location. People were buzzing because big meetings like this were rare. I stood in the back of the room, coffee in hand, thinking maybe it was announcing a 7th location. Dad stepped up, beaming, and said, "I'm proud to announce that my daughter, Lily Harrison, will take on a new role, Chief Brand Experience Officer. Lily will lead us into a new era of customer experience and brand building." Lily walked in wearing a white suit, hair in a perfect high bun, smile radiant as always. She talked about elevating the dining journey, storytelling through every bite of steak, collaborating with influencers. Everyone clapped politely. I stood there, heart beating slow like it was stopping. That wasn't the biggest shock. The biggest shock came later, privately in Dad's office. I closed the door, voice calm. "What's Lily's salary?" He didn't look up right away, shuffling papers. "That's not something you need to worry about." "I manage the entire operations budget," I reminded him gently. "Leadership compensation affects overhead." He sighed, that familiar sigh, finally met my eyes. "3 times yours, plus a company Lexus and full phone allowance. Her role requires flexibility, travel, influencer meetings, events." I laughed, a short, dry laugh, not about the money. But because everything suddenly became painfully clear, I wasn't family worth investing in. I was a tool. And tools don't need high pay. They just need to be grateful they're being used. That night, I went home, opened my laptop, and drafted my resignation letter. Short, professional, 30 days notice, offering full support for transition. No accusations, no emotion. I hit send. 10 days later, I got a call from PrimeCut Hospitality Group, the largest restaurant group in the Midwest, expanding nationwide. They'd been watching Harrison Prime for years, noticed the operational shifts, consistent quality, steady revenue growth. "We hear it was all you," the COO said. They offered 50.
I didn't slam doors. I didn't make drama. I just disappeared right when they needed me most. If you were me, what would you have done? And right now, where are you listening to this story from, and what time is it there? I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison with a business degree specializing in supply chain management, summa cum laude. That spring, I had 3 formal job offers, one from Marriott International as a management trainee in Chicago, one from Darden Restaurants, Olive Garden and Longhorn Steakhouse in Orlando, and one from Bain & Company Consulting, with a starting salary that made my friends' eyes widen. Any student would have jumped at least one.
But I turned them all down. I drove my old Honda Civic back to Chicago, suitcase in the trunk, and told my dad I wanted to come home and help grow Harrison Prime. My dad, Richard Harrison, was at his peak then. He started with one small steak spot in West Loop in 1985, then slowly expanded to 6 upscale locations focused on in-house dry-aged beef and California wines. He hugged me tight, eyes shining. "Daddy's girl is home. Now we'll make it even bigger together." I started at the lowest position a family member could start, so no one could say I was favored. My first month was as hostess at the flagship downtown Chicago location, standing at the door smiling, seating guests, handling picky customers demanding the table by the fireplace, despite booking months in advance. Shifts from 4 p.m. to closing, feet swollen and black heels. I learned to remember regular faces, knew the Johnsons at table 12 always ordered filet medium rare and Silver Oak Napa Valley, knew the tech CEO in the corner booth always needed privacy for partner meetings. After 6 months, I moved to server, carrying heavy trays, taking orders without a single mistake, suggesting sides without making guests feel upsold. I learned to open red wine properly, to slice bone-in ribeye tableside for VIPs, to handle a drunk guest getting loud without embarrassing them. Tips I earned I kept separate, never touching family salary. Then I became shift lead, managing evening shifts, end-of-day inventory, solving when the kitchen ran out of clean filet at 9 p.m. on Saturday with 30 orders waiting. I learned to say no to guests while keeping them coming back, to motivate line cooks when they were exhausted during peak hours. A year later, Dad put me in charge of the smallest location in Milwaukee, the lowest revenue and highest turnover. I moved there, rented a small apartment near Lake Michigan, and rebuilt from scratch. I replaced the head chef, reset meat ordering processes, retrained servers on wine upselling. That location's revenue jumped 42% in my first year managing it. Dad often called praising, "You're doing great, Emma. Keep this up, you'll be regional director. Daddy promises. Eventually, when I retire, you'll have equity, not handed to you, but earned." I believed him. I believed that if I worked hard enough, proved enough, eventually my parents would see me the way they saw Lily, with unconditional pride, not just because I was useful. At the same time, my mom, Diane, was diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer. Not the severe kind, but enough for regular chemo, gradual hair loss, and days she just wanted to lie on the sofa listening to us at home. Dad was busy running things. Lily was in New York trying content creation and fashion. I was the only one close by. I drove back to Chicago every weekend to take Mom to infusions, sat beside her the whole time, held her hand when nausea hit from the drugs. I cooked chicken soup like she used to make for me when I was little, did laundry, cleaned house. Mom held my hand, whispered, "I'm so proud of you. You're the strongest one in the family. We need you." I thought I was doing the right thing. Staying wasn't just for the job, but because family needed someone reliable. I told myself the sacrifice was temporary, that when Mom was better, when the company was stable, I'd be properly recognized. But deep down, I knew there was another reason, one I didn't dare admit then.
I was still waiting for my parents to see me without me having to do anything more. Just being their daughter would be enough for pride. The way they were proud of Lily, my little sister who never had to prove anything, yet was always the center of every family photo. I didn't know that 4 years later, that belief would be shattered in one company-wide meeting.
If you were me back then, turning down big opportunities to build the family dream while mom was sick and dad promised a bright future, would you have done anything differently? Lily was always the center of every gaze in the Harrison house. My little sister, 3 years younger, was like a bright little star in the family from the start. Lily had naturally golden blonde hair, a smile that melted anyone, and a lively personality that made every family gathering revolve around her. Dan often called Lily Daddy's little princess, and Mom loved bragging to friends. My Lily is just like me when I was young, charming and knows how to make people happy. I was different. Tall, brown hair, serious, and from early on used to being called the responsible one. It's not that I wasn't pretty. I knew I was fine, but I was never the one who lit up the room when I walked in. I was the one cleaning up after Lily's messes, reminding her to do homework, staying behind the scenes to keep everything running smoothly. The differences started showing in the smallest things. When Lily turned 16, Dad bought her a used BMW 3 Series, safe enough and classy for Princess to drive to school. Lily screamed with joy, hugged Dad tight, then drove off to show friends that same weekend. Me at 16? I got to use Mom's old Toyota Camry, on condition I paid for gas and maintenance myself. Many winter Chicago mornings, bone-chilling cold, I stood waiting for the school bus because the tank was empty and I didn't have money yet. I didn't complain. I thought it was how you learned responsibility. College made the gap even clearer. Lily went to an expensive liberal arts school in New York to explore herself. Freshman year, performing arts. Sophomore, communications. Junior year, dropped out entirely to pursue passion and fashion content on Instagram. Every time Lily called home announcing a dropout or major change, Mom just sighed softly, then said, "My girl is just finding her path. Kids need time to discover true passion." Dad sent extra money for a nicer Manhattan apartment, saying, "Don't let the baby stress." Me? I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison. Great public school, but budget-friendly. Business major. Graduated a semester early to come home and help sooner. Parents praised. Emma's so practical and responsible. No big celebration party, no Europe graduation trip, just a family dinner at the flagship location, and Dad said, "Now come help Daddy, okay?" Money was where the difference became undeniable. Lily overshopped, racked up thousands in credit card debt. Parents paid it all, saying, "Kids make mistakes, be more careful next time." Lily wanted the new iPhone. Mom bought it immediately. Lily flew home weekends. Dad booked business class, so baby is comfortable. Me? I paid off all my student loans myself, one payment at a time, from tips and part-time pay. When I told Mom I just made the final payment, she just nodded. "Good, you always know how to take care of yourself." No glowing pride like when Lily posted Soho stories captioned, "Living my best life." I didn't hate Lily at first. Really, I loved her, thought she was just lucky to be loved differently. I told myself I was loved for what I did, for being reliable, for helping family, for not worrying parents. I convinced myself that kind of love was fine, even more sustainable, because it was based on real value. But gradually, I realized the more painful truth. Lily was loved unconditionally, just for being Lily. I was judged by what I brought. I was useful, so I was kept, praised when needed, but never loved just for existing. Once Mom was tired after chemo, I drove back immediately, cooked, cleaned laundry, sat with her all night. Next morning, when Lily FaceTimed from New York, Mom smiled brightest in weeks. "My beautiful girl, tell Mom about that party last night." I sat outside the frame, washing dishes in the sink, listening to Mom praise Lily endlessly. That's when I realized I wasn't envious of what Lily had. I was hurt by what I never would. Love without conditions, without proof. And that realization quietly gnawed at me through 4 years of nonstop work for Harrison Prime. I thought if I did better, sacrificed more, one day my parents would see me like they saw Lily. I didn't know that day would never come.
If you grow up in a family where love for siblings seemed measured by different rulers, have you ever wondered if you were running an unfair race? When I officially took on the operations manager role for the entire Harrison Prime chain, even though my paper title was just assistant to the owner, the company was in a quiet crisis. Annual revenue was around $9 million, but profit margins were paper thin. Food waste was nearly 18%, meaning thousands of dollars in premium beef thrown out weekly because of expiration, poor storage, or miscalculated orders.
Staff turnover was constant. Good chefs jumping to big chains like Ruth's Chris or Morton's for higher pay and stable hours. Yelp and Google averaged 3.9 stars. Guests complaining steak overcooked, long waits, or high prices without consistent quality across locations. Ingredient costs were out of control because we bought through middlemen, prices fluctuating weekly without long-term contracts. My dad was great at relationships. He knew how to call VIPs, tell stories, make them feel special. But day-to-day operations, the things that decide if a restaurant lives or dies, fell to a small group, and gradually, just me. I started by spending months on the line at every location. I learned to tell dry-aged ribeye freshness by smell alone, check walk-in temps to the degree, forecast Friday guest counts based on Chicago weather and sports events.
I logged everything. Which side sold best Wednesdays, which hours the line got slammed, which ingredients ran out first. First step was standardized chef training. Before, each location taught by word of mouth. Result? Same filet mignon was perfect medium rare in Chicago, but off in Milwaukee. I wrote a 120-page training manual, from searing for perfect Maillard crust to resting meat exactly 8 minutes before slicing. I held mandatory quarterly sessions, bringing the best head chef as mentor. Fail 3 checks? No line work. Early pushback? We've done it this way for years. But when guest praise became consistent, silence. Next was supply chain. I spent 3 months driving across Illinois and Wisconsin, meeting ranchers raising Black Angus and American Wagyu directly. I negotiated exclusive contracts, fixed yearly prices for fresh meat, in exchange for volume commitment and menu credit. Beef from Miller Family Farm, Freeport, IL. Result? Average meat cost down 12%, quality more stable, and we had a brand story guests in fine dining love. Hardest was fresh inventory management. Can't last more than a week. I researched and rolled out restaurant-specific software, self-taught basic coding to customize. Every morning, location managers input remaining stock, system auto-forecast demand from sales history, weather, big events like Bears playoffs. Red alerts for nearing expiration, suggest specials with light discount. Waste dropped from 18% to 4% first year, meaning nearly $300K saved annually, enough for a small new location.
But I knew without people, systems mean nothing. Chef turnover once hit 70% yearly. I proposed retention, plus $4 per hour peak shifts, Fry Saturday, quarterly bonuses on guest scores, and most important, full health insurance for full-time, even part-time over 30 hours a week. Dad initially resisted, costs too high. But I showed data. Recruiting and training new chef costs $8 to $10K, keeping veterans cheaper. He agreed to pilot 2 locations. Result? Turnover under 20%, and we had a wait list to hire.
Those changes weren't loud. No big press, no ribbon cutting. But numbers don't lie. Revenue first year under my full ops jumped to $12 million. Second, $14 million. Fourth year, steady $15 million. We opened 2 new locations, St. Louis and Indianapolis, using only reinvested profit, no bank debt. Chicago Magazine voted Harrison Prime Best Steakhouse in the Midwest 2 years running. Weekend wait lists, full VIP books. Dad got all the praise. Press interviews, he talked family vision, traditional quality. VIPs shoulder-hugged him, thanking Mr. Harrison for building this amazing place. I stood behind the bar, inventorying wine, polite smile. No one asked who really made ribeye perfect every time, waste near zero, staff stay long enough to remember regulars' favorites. I told myself it was fine. I was building family legacy. One day when Dad retired, everyone would know whose effort. I still believed the equity promise, the official regional director title. But more and more, I realized Harrison Prime's success now depended entirely on me, and only me. Miss 1 week, system wobbles. Not there 5 a.m. checking deliveries, subpar meat slips in. I'd become the backbone, but backbones don't need high pay or a loud recognition. They just need to keep bearing weight.
I didn't know that truth would lead to my biggest life decision.
Have you ever been the quiet one keeping everything running while others got the spotlight? Ever thought if you just did better, you'd finally be seen? Every success at Harrison Prime gradually became obvious, as if it happened on its own, not from nights I stayed of optimizing orders or mornings standing at the grill checking every cut. When Chicago Magazine awarded Best Steakhouse in the Midwest 2 years running, Dad was invited for interviews. 3-page spread with him standing by the big grill at Flagship, holding massive ribeye, confident smile. Headline, Richard Harrison, the man keeping the flame for perfect steak. He talked family vision, passion passed generation to generation, how he chose meat from the single location days. Not once mentioning me, who negotiated rent contracts, wrote training manuals, installed waste-cutting software. VIP guests made it clearer. Mr. Thompson, tech company CEO in the loop, always booked Thursday fixed table. After ratings soared, he shoulder-hugged Dad. Richard, what magic did you do? Steak better than ever, service faster, same price. You're a genius. Dad laughed loud, patted him. Thanks, we just try to keep standards. I stood 3 meters away, iPad inventorying wine, heard everything. No one turned, asking, who really made the changes? Local press, food influencers, even short NBC Chicago segment, all revolved around Richard Harrison and family legacy. One famous food blogger posted video review of new St. Louis location, praising amazing consistency across sites. Dad immediately reposted on company Instagram, proud of what we've built together as a family. I liked from personal account, then turned off phone, throat tight. And me? Salary crept up over years, from livable in Chicago to slightly better, but never touching market for equivalent regional ops director. No annual performance bonus, no equity like promised, no stock despite company value doubling since I started. Every time I brought it up, usually after big milestone like revenue over 15 million or new location, Dad's response same. First time, post-Chicago Magazine Award, private meeting. Dad, I think now's time to discuss the equity you promised. Company's growing strong and He interrupted, patted shoulder. Emma, you're doing great. Daddy's proud, but not the time yet. We just opened new location, cash flow tight. Wait a bit more stable, then we talk. I nodded. A bit more stable. Second time, after inventory software saved nearly $500,000 yearly. Detailed report. Dad skimmed, nodded. Nice numbers, you're talented. But this year, big marketing investment to compete big chains. Wait next year, more stable revenue. I nodded again. Next year. Third time, after landing McCormick Place event catering contract, hundreds of thousands yearly. I thought for sure. Prepared short slides on my contributions and Chicago market salary. Dad listened, smiled. You want more, Daddy understands, but Mom's regular checkup's expensive. Wait things truly stable. Daddy will make it right. True stability never came. Always horizon. Close enough to see, far enough to keep running. I started realizing Harrison Prime's success story was rewritten as Dad's alone. To guests, press, even new staff, it was all Mr. Richard's vision. I was just boss's daughter doing ops. Useful, reliable, but not creator. Once a young new chef asked, "You're the owner's daughter." Lucky, must be nice, no worries. I forced smile, didn't know how to answer. Nice?
I was the only one knowing if I took 1 month off, fresh meat ordering would chaos, waste skyrocket, ratings drop. But no one saw, because I did it too well. It became normal.
I told myself, okay, building something bigger than money. Family legacy. One day, Dad would keep word. One day, everyone would know. But deep down, I started feeling gradually erased, like a ghost running the machine while stage lights shone only on others. Have you ever worked to exhaustion building something, only to watch credit slowly go to someone else? Ever waited for a promise once more stable, not knowing that stability might never arrive? Personal sacrifices started small, then became new normal, to point I no longer noticed losing myself. Thanksgiving my second year managing full chain. Typical example. Family planned big at parents', long table, stuffed turkey, mom's homemade pumpkin pie, everyone together like American movie. I'd bought tickets for then-boyfriend Alex from California to Chicago for introduction. But that morning, flagship manager called. Main dry age walk-in broke overnight. Temp up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Entire ribeye lot worth nearly $40K at risk. Don't act now, total loss, Black Friday weekend, no product.
I canceled Alex's flight, drove straight to location 6 a.m. All-day emergency tech calls, transferred meat to backup, negotiated supplier rush delivery 24 hours. Stood line late evening, checking every piece for spoilage signs. Got to parents 11 p.m. Food cold, everyone watching football. Mom smiled. You fixed it? So smart. Come eat, I'll warm up. Dad patted shoulder. Don't know what we'd do without you. Lily posted table photo story, thankful for family time. I ate leftovers alone in kitchen. Alex texted from airport. I get it, work important.
I thought just once, but ounces piled up. Next summer, Alex and I finally booked vacation. 1 week Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Plane tickets, all-inclusive resort, first real break after 3 years. I notified 2 months ahead, arranged coverage, wrote detailed guides. 3 days before flight, big wedding, 250 guests, booked entire downtown for reception. Special menu, Wagyu strip loin and lobster tail. Night before, head chef called sick, norovirus. 2 sous chefs out from exposure. No one else experienced enough for that scale.
I canceled flight again. Alex angry, first time direct. You love work more than me? I apologized, promised makeup. That week, 18-hour line days. Directed temp team, checked every plate before service. Wedding, huge success. Bride posted glowing not review tagging Harrison Prime. Dad texted, you saved Daddy big time. Proud. Alex broke up phone call 2 weeks later. I need someone who prioritizes me, Emma.
I thought. Temporary sacrifice. For family. For company. Meanwhile, I decided evening MBA Kellogg Northwestern. Thought more knowledge, optimize further, and importantly, make parents unable ignore contributions. Classes 6 p.m. start, 3 nights a week. Ended shifts 2-3 a.m., slept 3 hours, up 6 a.m. inventory. Studied car between locations, podcast lectures driving Chicago, Milwaukee. Capstone thesis, optimizing fresh food supply chains in upscale dining, applied directly Harrison Prime before defense.
Some nights, line steering steak, spatula one hand, iPad case study other. Wrote demand forecasting chapter while meat rested. Grilled beef smell mixed black coffee staying awake. Body started rebelling. First, insomnia. Lay bed, mind still running tomorrow orders. Then, anxiety. Heart racing, every phone buzz, fearing crisis. Stomach pain, constant companion. 3 a.m. cramps, antacids like candy. Lost 15 pounds unintentionally. Clothes baggy. One afternoon, Milwaukee checking inventory. Sudden dizziness, vision narrowed, grabbed shelf. Staff asked, you okay? I smiled, fine, just little sleep. Next week, doctor. Heard symptoms, prescribed rest, stress reduction, even suggested long leave. You're severely burned out, Emma. Body can't run marathon forever.
I told Mom phone. She quiet moment then. I know you're tired, but family needs you so much. Company's growing, I still regular checkups. You're strongest in-house. Just little more, okay?
I nodded, though she couldn't see. Little more. I continued, because I still believed all sacrifice would pay off. One day Dad would say, "We couldn't without you." Mom, proud. Not just strong, but because I'm her daughter. But that day didn't come. Only more stomach nights, more canceled flights, more relationships broken because I always chose company first. I'd lost myself keeping Harrison Prime shining without realizing that light never reached me. Have you ever sacrificed until forgetting what you need? Ever thought just a little more and everything would change? After defending Kellogg MBA thesis, I felt ready. Not just paper degree. I'd applied every lesson directly Harrison Prime. Results in numbers. Revenue steady 15 million year. Waste 4%. Average 4.8 stars. 2 new locations, no bank debt. I thought now. Undeniable. Spent 2 weeks professional dossier. Kind any Chicago executive respect. Gathered salary benchmarks, reputable sources, Glassdoor, Salary.com, National Restaurant Association reports, even industry conference data. Average regional operations director, upscale Midwest chain, 180 to 220K a year, plus performance bonus, 1 to 3% equity. I below lowest. Listed specific KPIs 4 years. Average annual revenue growth, 14%. Ingredient cost reduction, 15%. Direct contracts. Staff retention, 30% to 85%. Expansion, 4 to 6 locations. No outside capital. Next year profit forecast, 18 million. Maintained momentum. Beautiful slides, clear charts. Even section forecasting, bonus/equity, improve leadership retention, reduce institutional knowledge risk. Not begging, pure business proposal. Scheduled Dad quiet Tuesday morning, flagship not open. He sat big walnut desk upstairs office, black coffee hand, laptop, emails. I entered thick folder hand, heart calm. First time truly calm about this. Dad, can we talk few minutes? He nodded, smiled. Of course, sweetheart. Sit. Started. Thanks, like every new project pitch. Thank you for opportunities, learn, contribute past 4 years. Harrison Prime, best position ever, proud part of it. Then data. Placed folder front. Opened iPad slides. But my role now equivalent full regional operations director. Want discuss salary/bonus structure, matching responsibility, and Chicago market. He raised eyebrow, listened. Pointed each number, benchmarks, KPIs, profit forecast. Clear. Not asking favor because your daughter. Asking paid work value, like any executive you'd hire outside. He quiet when finished. I thought, this time, different. He saw data. Can't deny. Then sighed like about educate someone. Leaned back, fingers laced. Emma, you're so lucky this position. Out there, people sacrifice years, relationships get here. You, family, learn direct daddy, not pay price outsiders do. Tried calm voice. I understand, but because 4 years no break, because changes I brought, I think... Interrupted. This not normal company, Emma. Family. We don't calculate like big corporations. You have opportunity money can't buy. Build family legacy. Your name, Harrison Prime, forever. Pointed chart. But Dad, see, market pay plus equity better retain leaders. I leader too. And? Shook head, gentle but firm. You're young. Don't fully understand family business value. Outside, harsh. Fire no mercy. Here, protected. Be grateful that. Word grateful landed like slam door. Heard since child, grateful old car, grateful self-paid tuition, grateful non-stop work. Now grateful paid 40% below market. Tried last? Not asking privilege, Dad. Just want paid work value, like you'd pay anyone outside same role. Smiled sadly. If think outside pays more, try. Market teach you things Daddy hasn't. Not advice. Challenge. Beneath clear message. Don't forget who holds power. Gathered slides, hands not shaking strangely. Stood. I understand. Thank you listening. He already backed laptop as I left. Conversation over in his mind from grateful. Walk downstairs, back of house, past grill still smelling last night's beef. Everything suddenly painfully clear. Not timing issue, not wait more stable, final answer, I don't deserve market value. Because I'm his daughter, and daughters should be grateful allowed stay. Stepped outside November Chicago, wind cutting skin. Didn't cry, didn't angry, just empty. Then slowly, certain. Door I'd pushed 4 years, not just closed, locked inside. First time, understood no work amount, no MBA, no sacrifice would open it. If you ever prepared perfectly important conversation, believed data speak instead emotion, only here you should be grateful, what would you do next? 2 days after fateful office meeting, company-wide email from Dad. All staff meeting flagship downtown Chicago. Exciting news Harrison Prime future. Everyone buzzing. Rare big meetings unless new location or major contract. I stood back upstairs event room, usually VIP parties, black coffee hand. Tried normal, despite still echoing, be grateful. Dad stepped makeshift stage, radiant familiar smile. Dark suit, red tie, VIP outfit. Today, proud to announce new step forward Harrison Prime. We've grown tremendously. Time elevate customer experience to new level. Pause effect, turned door. Introduced my daughter, Lily Harrison, new role, Chief Brand Experience Officer. Lily entered like runway, white tailored suit, red heels, perfect high bun, radiant smile. Hug Dad tight, front phones recording. Took mic, sweet energetic voice. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, everyone. Harrison Prime, not just steakhouse. We telling story. Dining journey, emotional experience. All work influencers, reposition brand social, campaigns make guests not just eat, live moment fully. Talked storytelling every steak bite, elevating guest journey, collaborating famous food photographers. Polite applause. Some managers nodded, thinking stronger marketing. Line cooks, confused looks. I stood, heart slow, like stopping. Not biggest shock. Biggest came later, private Dad office. Closed door, calm voice. Lily's salary? Shuffling papers, not immediate eye contact. Not something you need concern. I manage full operations budget. Gentle reminder. Leadership comp affects overhead. Familiar sigh. Finally looked. 3 times yours, plus company Lexus, full phone allowance. Her role needs flexibility. Travel, influencer meetings, events. Short laugh, not happy. After our talk other day, you do this? Frowned. Don't overreact, Emma. Strategy. Lily brings fresh energy, connects younger generation. You're great execution, but leadership more than numbers. Lily understands people. Then final sentence, shattering illusions. You're not ready that level because haven't learned appreciate what you have. Left office, no more words. No argue, no cry. Everything painfully clear. Not business decision. Punishment. For daring demand real value. Reminder hierarchy. Lily Star. iTool. That night home, opened laptop, drafted resignation. Short professional, correct 30-day notice, full transition support offer. No blame, no emotion, just employee departure notice. Sent midnight, addressed Dad, Mom, HR, myself. Turned off, stared ceiling. No anxiety expected, only strange stillness, like finally set down too heavy load, long time.
Morning, reactions poured. Mom called first. Not angry, cried. Emma, how you do this, family? I'm still regular checkups. Your dad's stressed always. What people say? How Mom live when you leave? Gentle answer, not leaving family, Mom, just job. Sobbed, with our family different. Your pillar, can't do this. Dad called after, voice tight. What you doing? Drama? Think outside kinder? You'll regret. Daddy gave big chance, now throw away pride? Repeated, just resigning job, Dad. Lily texted afternoon, long message. Sis, don't childish. Daddy just wants grow company. You making everything harder needed. We're family. Don't make Daddy Mom sad. Read once, deleted. Tired explaining people long decided my role, but kept word. Next 30 days, more professional than ever. Wrote 80-page handover, ranch contracts to standard SEER technique, demand forecasting to walk-in breakdown handling. Trained 2 potential location managers, hours together, step-by-step guidance. Answered every question, updated systems, left everything clean, organized. No sabotage, no delay. Wanted record clear. Future issues not because I left chaos. My revenge, not yelling face, but leaving perfectly. Letting them feel void I left. Those 30 days, realized not angry, just done. Done waiting recognition. Done sacrificing to prove value. Done believing family love would come if I try a little more. Resignation, first step, reclaiming myself. If you meant then watch sister handed everything you built just because she brings energy, would you stay, prove anything more? Or would you too choose disappear? Your own way. In final 30-day notice Harrison Prime, company atmosphere subtly shifted. People still polite, greeted, but questions once direct to me hesitated, avoided, fell void. Felt system wobbling. Not immediate chaos, but people holding steady started imagining different life. Private conversations began. First, Marco, flagship head chef, with Dad from beginning. Caught me back of house late afternoon, warehouse quiet. Emma, soft, not direct eye. Heard you leaving. True? Nodded. Quiet moment. Wiped hands apron though clean. You're only one truly understands kitchen needs. Without you, don't know how long I stay. Didn't say quitting, just left heavy. Few days, Sarah, Milwaukee manager. Trained myself from server. Close my small office door. Low voice. Saw whole meeting other day. Not fair. You built everything. Now they give that position Lily. No need more. Eyes clear. If you go, I'll rethink too. Then Javier, supply chain supervisor recruited 2 years ago. Caught parking lot. Your reason I stayed through seasons. Systems you built, pay benefits you fought. You go, don't know this company means anything. No one direct say quit follow. No one ask take me. Just shared truth. Company no longer place proud work. Because top decisions shook faith. Words not victory to me. Responsibility. Reminded everyone decision theirs, not recruiting. Just stepped aside, let truth reveal. Meanwhile, started updating resume first time 4 years. Strange feeling. Writing what done quietly long. Supply chain optimization cut waste 14%. Revenue growth 66%. Geographic expansion maintained quality consistency. Sent few big industry groups. Ruth's Chris, Morton's, PrimeCut Hospitality Group, Dallas HQ, expanding strong Midwest. Responses faster expected. Continuous video interviews. Detailed questions forecasting fresh meat demand weather, retaining chefs' peak seasons, handling inventory crises. Not ask why left family company, asked what built there. Deciding call Tuesday afternoon. PrimeCut COO, warm Texas voice, sharp. Emma watched Harrison Prime years. Revenue surge, rating stable, expansion no scandal. Industry rumor all things one insider. We think you. Silent, throat tight, not pride, relief. First time my work named properly. Talked over hour, balanced quality, cost, mistakes, lessons. And not asked, interested, said, we want you. 2 days offer email. Base salary, 50% higher Harrison Prime. Annual performance bonus, regional chain. Company stock, real, not vague promise. Full benefits day one. Most important, hybrid work policy. No need daily presence prove dedication. We expect hard work, letter. Expect employees human. Accepted?
No negotiation. No need posture. Validation already there. Gave start date, COO one more question. Work alone. Told truth. No system survives one person. Few I trust understand work like me. Nodded video. If open talk, we are too. Didn't orchestrate. No promises. Just honest when Marco, Sarah, Javier private messaged asking where landing. Gave company name. Nothing more. Weeks later, all three invited interview. PrimeCut no reckless poach. Vetted thorough. Asked same questions me. Pressure decisions. Build team trust how. Result, Marco executive chef regional. Sarah regional manager. Javier lead Midwest supply chain.
Not quit because me. Quit because PrimeCut offered what Harrison Prime once promised never delivered. Recognition, growth, environment respects labor. Stepped new downtown Chicago office, open space, natural light, colleagues greet not knowing boss's daughter, difference immediate. Structured calendar, real weekends, raise concern, listened, no, lucky have a job reminder. No one told grateful here, assumed belong because evidence spoke. Market answered dad's challenge. This time, no need prove anything more. If you left and saw the best people ever worked with start looking window too, feel your responsibility? Or just natural consequence, truth finally seen? After I left, Harrison Prime began decline. Not sudden like a kitchen fire, but slow daily like steak left room temperature. Lily dove new role explosive energy.
Focused entirely rebranding. New menu fusion items sound good, hard execute, like Wagyu topical fruit sauce, deconstructed saladine, double prep time. Hired pro food photographers, perfect light shots, daily Instagram stories, collaborated Chicago influencers, hundreds, thousands of followers. Hashtag Harrison Prime Experience spread. Likes surged. Online reservations danced first weeks. But operations? True backbone? Neglected. No one 5 a.m. fresh checks. Ranch contracts I signed, loosened, no close follow. Inventory software, irregular updates, red alerts ignored. Premium food, expired walk-ins. 45-day dry-aged ribeye worth thousands of dollars, tossed, no timely special push. Waste surged back 15%, then 20%. Staff, once stayed peak hour, pay, insurance I fought, quit en masse. Marco first, then Sarah, Javier. Remaining, exhausted, longer shifts, short line Saturday. Yelp, Google ratings plunged. Steak overcooked today. Wait 45 minutes, no drink ask. High price, quality inconsistent anymore. From 4.8 to 3.9 months. First big contract lost, annual tech company McCormick Place Christmas party. 400 guests, once exclusive steak provider. Canceled new menu trial, mains 45 minutes late, some beef uneven rare. Rumor spread Chicago event planners, Harrison Prime no longer reliable. Heard fragments old channels, old staff texts, supplier calls, still owed favors, old contracts, casual industry comments, unaware closeness. Outside view, perhaps sudden. Inside, inevitable result replacing systems with appearance. Dad, heard, worked longer hours ever. Back old style. Direct calls, personal relationship salvage. But no longer grasped systems. Software I installed once resisted, now randomly edited.
Lily initially confident, gradually quiet social when negative comments rose. Then first call. Evening. Unknown number. Dad. Voice different. Lower. Tired. Emma. Complicated now. Need your help. Few months only. For family. Stabilize operations. Keep old guests. You understand systems best. Listened. No interrupt. Finished. Asked. What capacity? Relief voice. Details later. No, cut, calm. If help, external consultant. Market rate contract, clear scope, Lily no authority operations. Long silence other end. Then snapped. Demanding payment after everything family did you? Anger shifted. Family not calculate like that. Threatening daddy company hard. Not threatening, said. Valuing my work, difference. Hung up. Mom called evening. Softer but heavy. Talked worried staff, possible layoffs, dad aging visible stress.
How you live, knowing people lose jobs because you refuse help. Felt old pull, responsibility, guilt. This time passed quick. Hard, because decisions you dad made, not because I left. Cried. That really final answer? Yes.
Week later, parents invited in-person meet. Coffee, familiar spot in your home. Neutral ground. Agreed. Mostly say everything needed final time. Dad slid paper table. Intent letter. Vogue pointed, return leadership role, report indirectly Lily. Called compromise, family unity, show guest stability. Read, pushed back. Won't sign, won't return these terms. Accused pride, ego, blocking forgiveness. Answered, forgiveness not requires self-erasure. Stood, hands not shaking. First time. Walked out, no response wait, no look back. Consequences quick. No intervention, company continued slide.
Guests demanded concessions. Lawyers circled late cancel contracts. Bank tightened credit. Dad exhausted. Tried patch effort, not structure. Lily role quietly diminished. No one admitted loud. Heard fragments distant. No emotion, just info. Not victorious. Just light sadness old coworkers. Hoped new structure give deserved stability. But offered help respecting labor limits. Refused. End my responsibility. Eventually, Harrison Prime acquired Big Group. Kept brand, changed management. Dad lost control. Not ending he imagined. Not satisfaction. Just relief. First time, no longer bearing others' choices, consequences. Ever watch something you built collapse because others didn't value it? Feel your failure? Or just proof you right to leave? 18 months after walking away, Harrison Prime, my life no longer felt constant escape race. Change not sudden, no fireworks or movie eureka.
Came quietly, full night sleep, intact weekends, mornings phone not dictate mood before bed out. At PrimeCut Hospitality Group, promoted regional vice president just 15 months. Now manage 12 Midwest locations, own team, talented people I recruited, trained, not carry alone. Weekly meetings, clear delegation, most important, allowed rest, no guilt. First-time direct manager told, Emma, log off, take this weekend, you look tired. Sat stunned moment, waited catch, none. Just normal care, company sees employees people, not machines. Started regular therapy, not because broken, but tired old deep beliefs. Value how useful, love earned sacrifice. If not carry everything collapse, my fault. Therapist helped untie knots, mistook responsibility love. Let family define strong child, avoid facing unfairness. Learned say no, no long explanation.
Cook home dinners, not stand restaurant kitchen. Sunday morning Lake Michigan runs, podcasts, not check email. Paid off MBA loans, no monthly dread. Space created leaving, not filled guilt, feared. Filled clarity. Family relationship remains. Healthy distance. Call mom few weeks once. Ask health, share work, no deep details, risk argument. Dad, occasional holiday texts, short tone. Lily posts Europe travel. I like, no comment. Not cut off, but no longer try fix or convince. No need them admit right, no chose right. Didn't return final plea, despite knowing company struggle. Mom cried, dad visibly aged. Offered terms respecting self. Outside consultant, market rate, no under Lily. Refused. Their choice, consequences too. Harrison Prime eventually acquired big corporation. Brand survives, dad no control. Heard no triumph, just light sadness old colleagues, hoped new structure deserved stability.
Didn't abandon family. Just stop letting family define my worth. Family not place disappear, others shine. Gratitude not leash keep where not respected. Boundaries not betrayal, self-respect. Wait tell world, self. Deserve market pay, rest, love, no more proof. Leaving not heartless, made me whole. Once thought sacrifice love, now no real love not demand lose self, allows exist fully, sleep, weekends, own voice. If you me, if built everything own hands, only see handed others no thanks, sacrificed forget need, what return save thing never truly valued you? Or you too choose walk, leave void, let world see value you carry.
And right now, were you listening this story? What time there?